Okay, so I see that there are a lot of people that don't really understand what this court case in New York, what it's all about, what the problem is, and whether the court proceeding is even legitimate or not. So let me just break it down for you in a nutshell. Basically, there are allegations. This is something that stretches back quite a few years. There are allegations that Donald Trump had um, let's just call it an encounter with an adult film actress. And that when he was in the lead up to him running for president way back in 2016, sometime during his run or before his run, the actress was paid $100 and something thousand. I don't remember exactly how much it was. Maybe 120, 130,000. Anyway, 100,000 plus dollars in order for her to keep quiet about incident. So basically, much more. Apparently, he allegedly paid this money, and the way in which it was done was that his lawyer at the time paid the actress the money, and then he paid the lawyer back, I think, in increments over a period of several months or a year or something like that, allegedly. So that was that. But as I said, it became known that this encounter allegedly took place and that he had allegedly paid her off, not to go public with it. And apparently, when he filed his tax returns for the state of New York, the payments to this actress were labeled in his returns, his tax returns, as being legal fees. So the theory of the case which is being brought against him is that labeling these payments, these hush money payments, as legal fees is a fraudulent business record. So basically, he's being accused of filing a fraudulent tax return. Now, under normal circumstances, the statute of limitations for that sort of offense would have already expired. But in order to be able to bring this case against him, the prosecutor has brought a novel argument stating that because this payment was in order to cover up the affair so that it wouldn't damage his presidential campaign, that this is actually a campaign finance violation. And so, because it's a campaign finance violation, this allows them to prosecute for it beyond the statute of limitations of what the original crime should have been. And apparently, a campaign finance violation is a felony, whereas the fraudulent business records thing is just a misdemeanor. So that allows them to make it a more serious crime anyway. So that's it in a nutshell. Of course, it seems to be a very creative, shall we say, prosecution. The sort of thing that it's hard to imagine a prosecutor going to these kinds of lengths to try and prosecute any ordinary citizen. But because it's Donald Trump, it seems that they're willing to be extremely creative in order to try and bring criminal actions against him. And there's a very interesting point that came up from this, which is what should these payments have been labeled in the first place? They say that it's wrong for him to label them as legal fees, but is there a category in the accounting for hush money payments? I'm kind of curious to see what he could have possibly labeled these as so as not to have found himself in hot water with the prosecution. Anyway, that's besides the point. Basically, it's a very inventive, creative, novel legal argument. And let's just be honest. If this was anybody other than Trump, there's no way this case would be in the courts. This is basically a situation where you remember the Attorney General for New York campaigned on the promise that if she was elected AG, she would get Trump. And so this is really her finding a way to get Trump any which way she can. So On that, on those grounds alone, this case should never have been brought, and certainly should be tossed out. But we know that's not going to happen, so they are proceeding. And we've already seen over the past week with the jury selection that the odds are very much stacked against Trump, in that looking at the description of the jurors, they obviously lean heavily towards, let's just say, the liberal side, if not outright the Democratic side rather. So it seems unlikely that he's going to get a fair shake. Anyway, it only takes one. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see what happens. I just wanted to sum it up for those who might not be clear on just what is going on here. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.